Wow, it finally happened. Will Levis is exactly where he thought he might go, to
Yeah.
the Tennessee Titans. I'm Nick Roush. That's Adam Luckett. We made it back from the draft in Kansas City. Uh, it's been a heck of a 24 hours, a whirlwind, Adam Luckett. But the Titans, they traded up and they eventually got their guy. They passed him at 11, but they got him at 33. Luckett, what say you about our guy, Will Levis, in Nashville, tightening up for all the Kentucky fans out there?
First thought, it was right. We go back to Pro Day. Mike Vrabel's smashing some beers at KS Bar. GM Rand Carthen was there that day. And so, not a huge surprise from that aspect. And then I look at two things. I look at depth chart and scheme. You look at Tennessee's depth chart, Nick. It's Ryan Tannehill will be 35 years old in July, entering the last year of his contract. You have Malik Willis, who was a third round pick last year, who they picked up journeyman Joshua Dobbs to start over him at the end of last year. And the general manager that spent that pick on Malik Willis got fired midseason, John Robinson, last year.
Yeah,
New
he gone.
GM, new head coach, who I think stylistically believe in a lot of things. Carthen came from the San Francisco 49ers organization. The 49ers win by running the football and playing good defense. Mike Vrabel wants to run the ball, play good defense, create explosives in a play action passing game. That is what I think. If Wet Levis is going to have success in the NFL, he's going to, I think, need a scheme like that is going to be a really good fit for him. There's some obviously receiver concerns. In Tennessee, they really need Traylon Burks to really take the next step quickly. First round pick out of Arkansas last year. The offensive line is in rough shape, but they just got the safest offensive lineman in this draft, Peter Skoronski, in the first round. Like, that guy's going to be a good NFL offensive lineman that plays a long time, and they just signed Andre Dillard to a multi-year deal to secure left tackle. So they're investing resources. They still have some investing to go, but you look at Levis, he's going to have a chance to start as a rookie. It's going to be a run-heavy offense, new offensive coordinator in Tennessee, but they're going to play a style of football that I think best suits him, especially early in his career as he develops as a drop back passer.
You mentioned starts too. I know Tannehill's there, and we have to say that, well, he's going to have time to learn behind Ryan Tannehill. Here's the thing, Titans fans. You're going to stink this year. Like, let's face it, they're in a downward spiral. I know the playoffs were within reach last year, and you blew it against the Jags with Josh Dobbs playing in front of your third-round draft pick. But Tannehill will start for, I'm going to say, I need to pull the
Still, they're out of
schedule
playoff
up.
contention, right? Well, we don't have the schedule. That comes out here in a
Okay.
few weeks.
But
But
it's going to be like week 10, I think, is going to be Levis's first start, right when
yeah,
things are they're going to look all right, things are going to get shaky. Tannehill's going to go back to being Miami Dolphins Tannehill, and then
yeah.
Levis is going to get a chance to start halfway through the season.
Well, the Jags are going to be 7-3 or whatever, and you're going to look up. You're 4 games out. It's not going so or too hot.
Mhm.
You probably going to hand it over to Levis at some point late November, around Thanksgiving, early December, I would say. Now, with Tannehill, he could get hurt at any point. I mean, Levis could be the week one starter if he sprains an ankle there in training camp.
Which happened last year, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I mean, he's going to play as a rookie, and they're going to see what they have with him. And now for them, it's all about they got to get rid of. Like, I know they love Derrick Henry, but it's
Yeah.
time to turn the page.
Mhm.
And you're going to turn that page, and like the offense in Tennessee now, it's Will Levis and Traylon Burks. I mean, he was pretty much. I mean, Levis was an extended first round pick this year. They are going to give him. They spent a top 35 pick on him. They are going to give him every opportunity to be their starting quarterback in Tennessee, and there's no waiting period for him. I think the concern I might have had, like if he went to the Rams, Stafford could have played for 3 more years, and he could have kind of been stuck.
Yeah.
Here, and he needs to play. Like Levis needs to get out on the field and get reps, and he's going to get that opportunity in Tennessee. And the kicker here, he's in the same division as the 2 quarterbacks that were picked over him early in this
See,
draft.
that is the one because you know, we're being kind of not Mr. Nice Guys because as a Titans fan, like Drew and Tyler, they're going to be on these airwaves. They're going to be everywhere, spinning how awesome this is going to be. We're taking the kitty gloves off, right? So
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow's conference. I mean, let's be real here. Like, Joe Burrow Mahomes, so I mean, like
hey,
you can win 10 games, have some fun, but
there's a
we want to get
Joey
real.
Porter. There's a Joey Porter back in Pittsburgh, so I don't know how long that's going to last like it. But
Shaking in my boots.
but to their point though, there is a side of Levis. I don't want to say vindictive, but he's at his best when he's got that chip on his shoulder, not like an actual chip, and he's playing through pain, right? But like getting passed on can be a good thing in that aspect. It can be a good thing in that they did get him, as you said, the highest floor offensive tackle in this draft. Now, I'm still ticked off that they made us wait because, man, that wait last night was brutal for Levis. However, if he uses this moment correctly, it could propel him forward. He can be the guy that goes out there and is busting Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud 4 times a year, right? But, gosh, getting home today, like that drive sucked. 5 hours of sleep, 8 hours of driving. I was just like, damn it, Tennessee, couldn't you just done this last night and saved us all the trouble? But I know that is just me being, that's thinking with my heart and not my head, because the head, it did work out well for the Titans. The only thing I might have suggested is there were reports that they tried to do it. Would have made a lot more sense to just go to 31, right? I think that the Eagles were probably worried that somebody would have gotten Nolan Smith or going to 30, excuse me. So the Eagles were worried that Nolan Smith might have gone in the next 2 picks or so if they would have traded down. But if they would have gone in the first round, you get the 5th-year option. You lose that. So that does incentivize the Titans to play him as soon as possible because you don't have that extra a year to see what you can get with him on a rookie deal.
Nick, if this draft is in Jacksonville and we're hanging at my in-laws, we probably would have played some golf on a Wednesday. Like if we were in Jacksonville at this draft, I haven't seen the compensation. Have you seen the compensation for the Colts or for the Titans trade up yet? What they gave up to get there?
Oh,
to me, like what I'm getting at though is the Chiefs probably would have just traded back.
Oh, I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah, because the Chiefs didn't need that pick, but they
were at home.
100,000 fans, right? Like all those people were waiting around.
The edge rusher they took though, like they could have got like Derek Hall went early. I had Derek Hall as I think a better prospect than that guy there. They were close in the same tier. They could have got extra draft capital. I mean, it's a deep edge class. There's going to be a lot of guys I think going early here already. We saw Derek Hall go off the board. B.J. Ojulari went off the board at 41 out of LSU.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the stronger portions of this class. They could have, if that's what the Chiefs wanted, they could have traded back and got an extra pick, but they didn't. And I think they might have been motivated to pick there.
Yeah,
because they had the fans. They had
right.
They brought out the 2 Lombardi trophies for the pick.
Mm-hmm.
The owner came out and made the presentation. I'm sure the owner would have been pretty pissed off if Brett Veach, their general manager, tried to trade back there. He might have been on strict orders, take the pick. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I think if, because Tennessee willing to trade up this early, and the Steelers weren't going to trade back unless their socks were blown off because they wanted
Joey Porter Jr. I think they were tempted to get him in the first round, but they had that pick sitting there. And
they already traded up once. Like to trade up twice like that would have been irresponsible to get Joey Porter Jr. So they just played it out, but they weren't going to trade out of that pick.
Right.
And so, I think if the draft was any other place, I think you probably would have seen Levis been the 31. And there was one less first-round pick. Dolphins got stripped of a first-round pick. So I think it was just kind of he caught some bad luck this weekend. But he's going to a spot where I think he's going to be able to play right away. In the scheme, they're run-heavy. They were the 6th most run-heavy offense in the NFL last year. And that's, I think, what Levis needs. That's going to be the best suited for him, that kind of style of play. They need to really – you worry about the offensive line there in Tennessee. They need an upgrade there. But he's going to get to play early, and he's going to be the face of the franchise, and he's going to get to play Stroud and Richardson twice a year.
Yeah, that like these images, we've got this image up right now on the KSR YouTube channel of Will Levis from draft night, all of those images, they're going to be shown during those divisional matchups. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And we're going to have comparisons. These three are tied together. And I know we were listening to it on the ride home, but part of my take was kind of like, well, you can't really be a bust if you're a second rounder, right? The bar, he now has, all the pressure's on those guys. They're going to be starters on day one, whereas Levis will probably have, 6, 7, 8 games before that happens, barring injury to Tannehill. So I think the other aspect of this, though, the other one I'm worried about is if Burks doesn't start playing like a former first-round pick right away, there ain't a whole lot in the cupboard there. I know there's, even if you are a run-heavy team, weapons is certainly something that they need to explore. Maybe they can find a gem in rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. Well, one, they need to address tailback, I think, because if they're going to be run heavy, they need to get another tailback in here they can ride. And Henry's leaving. But yeah, Chris Rodriguez, there you go. Now the tight end, Nick, he's out of Maryland. I really don't want to try to pronounce his name.
Okay.
Okonkwo.
Okonkwo?
He had a really, the Chigoziem Okonkwo was a 4th-round pick. He was a hit last year. He was pretty good. So they have a building piece right there, and it's just about getting another. They need another receiver. They need a tailback. They need to keep investing in this offensive line to give Levis some pieces. But the path is there for him to be a starter, and they're gonna. I would say Tennessee's they at least know what they're doing, I think, as an organization.
Yeah. That part is true. There is a cultural identity. Now, it's not one of these offenses like the hundreds of others that are running the McVay stuff that he ran at Kentucky. I do get a little I get some Dabo vibes with Vrabel just keeps promoting internally with offensive coordinator, and that worries me.
Third hire in a row it's been in-house.
And I just don't really like that. But I do like, though, that he is staying closer here. Well, I mean, if you think about the way this is going, I mean, the AFC South, as good as the Jags looked last year, it's a division that turns over quite frequently. And, 3 or 4 years from now, we could be sitting here, the Titans could be breaking in this new dome with Levis leading them to the playoffs, right? Like, there's a ton of big potential for Will Levis in Tennessee.
I mean, this is Trevor Lawrence division right now.
Right now.
3 quarterbacks in the same class in the top 35 picks. Only one of these guys is going to stick here. Like, they're not all going to stick in this division. Like, there's only so many games to win and so many teams to contend. Who's going to be the one of the 3? And they're all going to butt heads and go against each other. This is really, I think, going to be one of the bigger storylines to come out of this draft. Is all 3 of the top 4 Bryce Young was a clear one. And then it was Stroud, Richardson, and Levis all kind of cobbled together. Who you liked, pros and cons, weighing that the entire process. Now they're all going to play each other, and you're going to have all these games with these guys every year, and they should all. I would say by November, all of these guys will be starting for their teams.
Man, it's exciting.
So watching these guys over the next couple of years is that's going to be a draft topic I think we keep coming back to. Who picked the best quarterback in this draft?
Man, I'm excited to watch it unfold. I did. So I have a former Cats kind of jersey collection. Already have a Wesley Woodyard Titans one, though. So sorry, Will. Might have to wait. I did notice that 7 is already taken by Malik Willis. Maybe they make him a running back, and he has to change his number. I guess they can keep those numbers, though. That's fascinating what they're going to do.
He could change. And another thing, Titans' 3rd offense coordinator in 4 years. Levis played with 4 offense coordinators in 5 years in college. Like, that's nothing he's not used to.
Yeah.
But to me, the 2 big things, he's going to be able to start right away in a functional organization, I think. And 2, I think the scheme fits him. They're going to run the ball. They're going to try to protect him. They're going to want him with his big old arm to make some throws on play action pass. And then I think they're going to incorporate some QB run game because they've done it with Tannehill. And so I think they are going to surround him give him a chance to get off to a good start early in his career and have some success. So, in the worry of the second round, would he get a chance to start? I think he's going to get a chance to start here at Tennessee. So he had to wait a little bit longer, but I think he's going to a good spot. And now Drew and Tyler, like you said, they can go ahead and buy their Will Levis Tennessee Titans jerseys. And those poor the poor Vol Titan combo.
Oh man,
they are not happy campers right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? The Titans are lucky they don't have to deal with Hendon Hooker and his Mickey Mouse 28-year-old offense. But one thing you did mention, though, about Titans that we can't overstate, it's the culture there. Culture, it's hard to define, but another place that has it, Monticello Bank, 128 years. You can't be in business 128 years without an established culture. They've got it because they're putting people first. It's where people matter. 21 different branches, 14 different locations, and you can bank wherever you go with the GoNBC mobile app or by visiting GoNBC.com. Big shout out to our friends at Monticello Bank for making sure that we could get to Kansas City for the draft. It was a crazy whirlwind. It's still the circumstances that got Will Levis to fall are pretty dramatic, but for him to end up, back right in Nashville, right where many people want him to be all along, I think we can all say things did work out okay for Levis. He was not in Kansas City. I know some fans were disappointed to hear that he was leaving after he got spurned at the draft. We did not see him at all. And they didn't have cameras in the living room or anything. We haven't heard from him yet. So that's a little odd because we've heard from Levis seemingly 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So interested to hear his first comments out, which I'm assuming will be tomorrow or Sunday, whenever they kind of roll everybody out in Nashville at the Titans practice facility. But if you look over the years, Kentucky Titans have done pretty well. I think maybe with the exception, is Lonnie still there? Lonnie was
he's with the Saints right now.
Yeah, aside from Lonnie Johnson, Avery Williamson was great there. Wesley Woodyard, a longtime captain there. Tennessee Titans have played out well for nearby fans in Kentucky. Hopefully, Will Levis is the best of the bunch.
Yeah, it's got a chance to be the face of the franchise. And he's going to get an opportunity early, so we'll get to see if he can play or not. We'll find out because he's going to get the opportunity.
Oh, man. Well, we've got to get an opportunity to catch our breath. We got home, as the Steelers were being put on the clock, so it's been a whirlwind. We're going to catch a break.
Do you want to crap on Anthony Richardson State for their traffic right quick?
Oh, my God. New Albany, you can suck it. Worst city in the state of Indiana.
That's saying something.
Actually, the Fort Wayne or Gary is probably 1, 2. They can suck it, except for the Mad Ants. We love the Mad Ants. But as we're returning back home, the three of us, with the three amigos, we met in New Albany because it was on the way to Kansas City. Easy on and off the ramp. Well, it's not easy on and off when they shut off the exit ramp to get back on it. So we had to take the long way home. Almost made me late for the Levis pick. I almost just drove through the barricades. Said screw it. No state does road construction like the state of Indiana, where there's never any construction actually happening. Just cones everywhere. God, suck it, Indiana. Suck it, Anthony Richardson. What a POS. God.
Sorry, Indiana.
Good cut. Good cut there, Peak.
Yeah, good call.